Hello and welcome to episode number 50, part 2 of the All Things Sports podcast. My name is Zach Bishop and I am joined by.
Danny Shanholzer.
All right, thank you very much, Daniel. Pleasure to be with you on this lovely, lovely afternoon. All right, to continue where we left off in part number 1, we last talked about, I believe, we talked about the XFL, I believe? I think we did that in part 1. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I wish we got. I think that's what we ended with.
Yes. Yes, but we are going to have to follow that one up as there is currently a game going on. Vegas has currently up, I think, yes, 17-14 over St. Louis with 1 minute 51 seconds to go. So we will closely monitor that as we move on, hopefully with no more computer problems. That is what, unfortunately, again, delayed us in making part 2. Now, if it does happen again, we will unfortunately need to go on a bit of a hiatus as we need to get back to square one and test some things here. So hopefully we don't have to do that. Okay, Danny, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing great, Zach. Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
All right, thank you, thank you. We are going to lead off here with the 2023 Masters golf tournament taking place at Augusta National in Augusta, Georgia. I believe play was suspended in the middle of round number 2. So if I'm going to bring up those scores for you in a moment. There we go. Okay, so you see here, Brooks Koepka is currently leading at 13 under par. Jon Rahm and Sam Bennett, who is an amateur at the Masters tournament, he is at third place at 6 under. Danny, your thoughts on the Masters and Augusta National and the bad weather that has plagued the Masters tournament this weekend?
Yeah, Zach. So full disclosure, I'm not a huge golf guy, like in terms of following along with all of the majors. But obviously, the Masters, I mean, comes around once a year, and it's just special atmosphere, man. I mean, just the Augusta National is a beautiful course, and I think everything that the Masters kind of has going for it. Obviously, it's where the best golfers um, golf, but it's also kind of that start of spring and summer, if you will. But yeah, man, like you said, Zach, Brooks Koepka, he's been doing a good job. Jon Rahm as well, and a lot of Americans represented. Colin Morikawa is also tied for fourth right now. So I mean, I've been really enjoying, just kind of keeping up with it, and I keep saying this, but I really love the scenery, Jack. I mean, there's nothing better.
Yeah, yeah. Augusta National is a very historic course and it has some great scenery. Although yesterday, yesterday play was suspended due to a fallen tree that fell in the tee box of hole 17. I think no injuries occurred from that. Play has been off and on because play was suspended, I believe, once or twice yesterday due to inclement weather, and play was suspended as of 3:15 this afternoon. Today, what is today? Saturday. For the rest of the day, once again due to inclement weather. Now, Tiger Woods, Daniel, I want to hear your thoughts on this. Tiger Woods, um, his golfing career, I think, needs to come to an end here because he has not been the same since his car accident in, I believe that was 2021. Just your thoughts on Tiger Woods and, yeah.
Yeah, for sure, Zach. I think everybody's rooting for Tiger Woods because obviously, a few years ago he was at the top of the sport, and what was for a while there. I mean, he had a great run where he was at the top, right? And you mentioned that car accident, Zach. that was pretty scary. So I give all the credit in the world for Tiger Woods to come back from that and to want to keep golfing at a high level. I mean, if you're golfing at the Masters, you're obviously still believe that you can compete at a high level.
Mhm.
But yeah, I tend to agree with you, Zach, that I guess his career is on the decline, and what I am kind of just rooting for is that he can is for him to feel good about and for him to exit kind of on his own terms, Jack. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you think about the all time greats in sports and how it's awesome when they are able to dictate their ending. So my hope is for Tiger Woods that even though he hasn't had a his golfing career hasn't been great for the past couple years because of that car accident. I think just that he could be able to kind of exit on good terms for him, if that makes
Yes.
sense.
Yes. Now I do have a quick note. Anyone that wins the Masters can play in the Masters for life.
Oh,
That's just
yeah,
one
yeah,
quick
yeah.
mention that all the major champions. That's why you still see John Daly, who's like 60 some years old. He's still, I don't know if he's in the field this year, but he's been around for a long time. He's the bigger guy with the big white beard there. So it's always kind of funny to see him still going strong out there. Now we're going to move into the XFL. As I mentioned, we're going. Well, actually, we are. Okay, we already went over that. Well, we can go over the rest of the week number 8 schedule here. So I share that tab. We'll put that up on the screen. All right. So you see, we have Vegas and St. Louis already in progress. Still 17-14. Vegas with 20 seconds to go. Third and 10 for St. Louis currently. Um, they need to win their next 2 games to at least clinch a playoff spot. I don't think they're out of the playoffs. Well, I don't think they're. I think they're going to make it, but they need to win the next 2 here to clinch a spot. Anyway, later on, I'll commencing in a couple of minutes. Actually, we have Arlington and Orlando, Houston and San Antonio at San Antonio, and DC and Seattle. I'm really looking forward to that matchup. Danny, your thoughts on the rest of this XFL schedule here, and specifically the Defenders and Sea Dragons.
Yeah, Zach. Like you, I'm very much looking forward to the Sea Dragons playing the DC Defenders, man, because like we mentioned on our last podcast, man, Seattle has really, they have really just been really impressive down the stretch here. They didn't start off great, but down the stretch they've really competed and executed well. I mean, they certainly figured something out there, winning 5 in a row. So so I'm really looking forward to that. And Zach, it's hard to believe, the DC Defenders are 6-1 right now. It's hard. It's so hard to believe, Zach, that we're already into week number 7 or week number 8. I'm sorry. But yeah, man. I mean, and it's just what is so interesting and so what I think makes the XFL really fun to watch is just that the top 2 teams from the 2 divisions are going to make it. It's not like I know there are less teams, but top 2 is very that's hard, man, because I believe in division with the Defenders, Battlehawks, and Sea Dragons. The Battlehawks and Sea Dragons are both 5-2. And I mean that's obviously 7 games in, that's a pretty decent record. If you would have told both those coaching staffs that they'd be 5-2 heading into week 8, I think they'd be pretty happy. But one of those teams isn't going to make it, and Vegas is trying to play spoiler on the St. Louis Battlehawks right now as we're talking about it. And you look at the South, Zach, and I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on obviously all the games going on as well. But
I'm gonna have to cut you off in a second, but please proceed.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that the top 2 in the XFL South are currently Houston at 4-3.
All right. Time out. I'm gonna have to cut you off. The game is now tied 17-17 with 11 seconds to go. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take an intermission here because the XFL overtime. This may be the first overtime game of the season. So going to take an intermission here so we can soak it in, and we will get right back to you right here on. Hang on, let me get my intermission screen right here on the All Things Sports Podcast. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to come back and we're going to do a play-by-play of the overtime period here in St. Louis. Welcome back, Danny. We're going to we're talking about the XFL rules, and we will get them to you as soon as we can. Oh, yes. So alternating 2-point attempts from an opponent's 5-yard line, 3 attempts per team until a winner is decided. And the home team will choose to start on offense or defense. So if we wait for them to start play, Danny, your thoughts on the first XFL overtime game this year?
Yeah, Zach, I'm excited, man. I'm really, I think a major drawing point that the XFL has is those rule changes, like we've talked about, man. And I mean, it's kind of crazy that we're in week 8 right now, and this is the first overtime game we got here. So I'm really looking forward to it, and obviously this is a huge game for St. Louis, man.
Yep.
Um, because we talked about, Seattle is right there with them, and Vegas obviously hasn't had a great year, but you always hear of teams that maybe haven't had the best year wanting to kind of quote unquote spoil the run for teams that are looking to make the playoffs or in the hunt.
All right, and it looks like they are getting ready to begin play in overtime here. First overtime game of the season here in the XFL. Looks like Vegas will have the first attempt from the opponent's 5-yard line, and I believe 2 points per score here. We'll see. All right, first play coming from the St. Louis 5-yard line, and here we go. Man in motion for Vegas. Quarterback drops back, throws over the middle, and waiting on the officials ruling. Officials conversing some more, and they're in. Vegas does score on their first attempt. Now it goes to St. Louis, I believe. I believe it alternates. They're up in the booth, talking to Dean Blandino, the vice president of officiating for the XFL, apparently. After review, runner is short. Runner is short, so the Vegas attempt does fail upon further review. Danny, you just your thoughts briefly on that. Are you watching it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No, that was. I mean, that's as close as you can.
Yeah.
I'm a little behind here, but that's as close as you can cut it right there.
All right. St. Louis lining up. Apparently. All right.
So that Zach, that's another thing too. Like the 5 yard line, that's really kind of a gray area. Do you run it or do you pass it?
Yeah. Yeah. I think if you're the St. Louis quarterback, AJ McCarron is out today. I think you look for Austin Pearl on a goal line fade here, but St. Louis lines up.
They could do something like a jet sweep too.
And they hike the ball. And looking for I don't know who that is. Number 88 for St. Louis. He scores. I don't know who that is. Number 88 for St. Louis has scored. They are up 1-0.
I mean, Zach, they did basically. They just did what Vegas did, man.
And the game goes wild.
A little bit better, just a slant.
This is fun. I like this.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I like it too because it's quick too.
Yes.
That's helpful.
All right, Vegas has the ball going into round number 2. This is the St. Louis's first lead today.
Zach, it kind of reminds me of. I mean, obviously it will remind me of, but I mean, shootout in hockey, kind of.
Yes. Vegas now gets the ball. They line up from the 5-yard line once again, and look, they're lining up lining up in the shotgun apparently, and they hike it, and quarterback throws the ball, fade, end zone. And a flag on the play, presumably for pass interference. I love this. I don't know what the officials will. I don't know. We'll see. Get the call. Oh, offensive pass interference. I'm not sure what the official said after that. Okay, so it appears we will retry the play after the offensive penalty. And head coach Rod Woodson appears to be, or I'm sorry, they will not retry the play, it seems. I'm not sure. Once again, this is new for us as well as the league here. So it's first overtime game of the season. If you're just joining us between St. Louis and Vegas, St. Louis currently up 19-17 in round 2. And St. Louis will get the ball back here in round number 2. We'll get back to regular programming once this overtime does conclude. We'll then talk about the USFL, and then I believe we will wrap it up. St. Louis can win with a score here as they line up. Once again, looking to pass. And we'll see what they do here. Quarterback snaps, runs it, and he is in by the looks of it. He is. So St. Louis takes this game 21-17 in the first XFL overtime game this year. Danny, your thoughts just on the overtime there and how everything, how it just transpired? You're muted. Oh, wait.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, I mean, obviously, I really enjoyed that, man, and credit to St. Louis for executing. They may well have just really helped themselves in securing a playoff spot, because obviously you want to beat teams that you quote unquote are supposed to beat, like Vegas, who's now falls to 2-6. But I mean, credit to Vegas for challenging St. Louis that much, and obviously all eyes for St. Louis fans and St. Louis players are going to be on that DC Defenders Seattle Sea Dragons game, man.
Yes, we are now going to switch to the other game in the XFL, if I can find out what channel it's on. I believe, oh god, I think you know how you're looking for the channel you want, and you don't remember the number for it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
There's certainly there are a lot of. We are very fortunate that we have access to a lot of channels, but yeah.
I forget. I gotta look this up now. Give us a moment. All right, let's go to XFL. Yeah, that was certainly a fun overtime. Okay, what are you doing? Nothing. Okay, it was certainly a fun overtime period there. Let's head over to the schedule here and try and figure out ESPN. Oh, it's okay. ESPN. All right, just ESPN coverage over to ESPN, so that is there. So that game is just getting underway in Orlando. But now we're going to switch back to our originally scheduled programming, and we're going to talk about the Pens, and then we will save the USFL for the next episode. So, Dan, your thoughts just on the Pens? The Pens did win against the Detroit Red Wings 5-1 today. So just your thoughts on that, and I need to bring up the NHL standings while we talk about that.
Yeah, for sure, Zach. Obviously, it's a great time to be a sports fan, man, because obviously we just finished watching live the ending to an XFL game, which that was pretty cool. But
we need to do that more often.
Yeah, that was cool, man. I enjoyed that for sure. But yeah, dude,
I would have loved to actually show it on here, but that is not allowed due to copyright restrictions, and I'm dealing with that.
Right, but yeah, man, great time to be a sports fan, man, because us obviously being Penguins fans, they're keeping us engaged right down to the wire here, because they are basically, for those that maybe aren't Penguins fans or maybe not hockey fans in general, basically competing. There are 3 teams competing for 2 spots. The Penguins are competing with the Islanders and Panthers for a wild card spot, for the 2 wild card spots. But dude, I mean, it's been the Penguins obviously did not have a great stretch earlier on in the year. We lost to some teams we should beat, and even we should not have lost to the New Jersey Devils like we did. I mean, that was not a great effort. But the Penguins, they've rebounded, man. Winning on Thursday against the Wild and beating the Red Wings today. I mean, we've outscored opponents 9-2. We were talking just amongst ourselves before we came on the air. If the Penguins can win out, I do believe that we will sneak in the playoffs and play Boston probably.
Yeah.
And Zach, I am very hopeful and very optimistic. I know Penguins have been so up and down. And it's kind of surprising for a veteran team, honestly, that we've been this up and down. But I'm really hopeful, Zach, that we can pull through in these last couple games here. Curious to your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think Pens are starting to show their age. I mean, we are the oldest team in the league in terms of average age goes. But yeah, I think we need to go into a semi kind of rebuild here. I mean, I think we will make our way in here, but you look at the standings here. I mean, Florida has yet to play. They play tonight. The Islanders, I believe they play tonight as well. We played at 1:00 Eastern today. Yeah. So we currently sit at points, 90 points, with Florida a point behind and New York also a point behind. It'll just be interesting because the Pens at one point controlled their own destiny, but now they do not. Their game in hand on Florida was, I believe, the game against the Devils, I believe, and we obviously lost that one by a score of 5-1. So it'll just be I think we need some help, but I think I think we'll get in somehow. Now, if we look at the playoff clinchings, we have Boston, and what's P? What's P?
Presidents.
It's the President's Trophy.
Yeah.
In Carolina, New Jersey, and the New York Rangers have all clinched playoff spots. Boston, Toronto, and Tampa Bay have all clinched as well. Also, just of note, let's take a look at the Western Conference here. Colorado, Dallas, and Minnesota. My pick is Dallas for the Cup this year. We have Vegas,
Jake Oettinger, man. Jake Oettinger looks really good too.
Yeah. We have Vegas, Edmonton, and Los Angeles in the Pacific Division. As I said, in the Central Division, Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota. And in the wild card, we have Seattle, the first-year playoff team, clinched the top wild card spot with 96 points. I think they could be a sleeper team this year.
Yeah.
There's your rest of your stats around the league and in both conferences. So, Danny, just your thoughts in general now on the NHL and as we wind the season down here.
Yeah, Zach, like you said, man, Dallas has been playing very, very well. Obviously, the Bruins are the best team in hockey, and they were talking actually on the game on ABC here. Boston and New Jersey play later tonight, and I think if you're a team looking to kind of rebuild, so to speak, like we kind of talked about, I think after this year we do have to really think, just as a Penguins fan, we got to really think about the direction we want to go. But whatever direction we should try to go, we should follow in the same footsteps as New Jersey, man, because they were, bottom of the barrel team just a few years ago, and now, I mean, they're looking really good. When they played the Penguins, their speed was unmatched, man. They just really good, fast, young team. But I guess just a note on the Penguins, Zach, that I'm going to be really interested to hear your thoughts. I kind of thought about this question as you were kind of talking. I think what's helped the Penguins in these last couple games, honestly, is their veteran presence, because we've been able to finish games. You know, we've been able to, okay, we're playing Detroit, so obviously we should take care of business, and that's exactly what we did. We didn't let them back in the game even when we got up, which that hasn't been the case all year. You know, we've been kind of notorious for giving up leads and losing games we shouldn't have. So just looking forward into next year and hopefully the playoffs this year. My hope is that we can kind of keep obviously some veteran presences, but also just improve and get some guys in the system as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think we have some guys in the minor leagues here, but we need to start bringing them up, and if they're ready, and getting them on a team, getting them some NHL minutes here. So, and lastly, after this marathon of an episode, we're going to talk briefly about the Pirates. I don't know, are they back, Danny? I think they're back.
Zach, I am
back.
so excited, man. I am so excited.
Yes, the Pirates currently sit at 5-2 to start out the year.
I know
they had their home opener the other night.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they scored 13 runs to defeat the Chicago White Sox 13-9. Now, Brian Reynolds is due a big payday. Danny, just briefly your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. Just, Zach, I know we're only 7 games in, and it's a marathon, like you said, and not a sprint. You know, we're not in the 60-meter dash here. We're in the 3-miler here. We're in the 5K, so to speak, or the marathon. I don't know why I keep making running comparisons, but we're 7 games in, and Zach, I've loved what I've seen. Yeah. Because like you said, Zach, I mean, Brian Reynolds is raking hot. I mean, he has been just seeing the ball super well and hitting, and Ji-Hwan Bae has been a spark plug, man. He's made some super great catches, bunted his way on a couple times. But back to the Brian Reynolds thing, man. I really think I would really like to see Brian Reynolds get that big contract extension. Now, I think Brian Reynolds is one of those guys that will always be quote unquote undervalued, because I really think he should have gotten this a while ago. I think that the Pirates definitely need to pay him, because I think that Brian Reynolds and guys like Andrew McCutchen are the guys that are making they're that kind of presence, that veteran presence that really are helping the young guys along. You know, we talked about the Pens, about how they're kind of need more of a balance, but I think the Pirates have a really good balance of veteran guys like Andrew McCutchen and Carlos Santana and Brian Reynolds that have been around for a while, but also guys like O'Neal Cruz, man. I am so excited to see how O'Neal Cruz can develop, man. And I obviously know that the Pirates are going to lose some games. I mean, every baseball team does. But where I want, Zach, just as a Pirates fan, I really, really just want us to compete in those meaningful games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting just to watch the Pirates this year, and I don't know. I think they could be back. I mean, we play the White Sox again tonight. I believe that is all for that series, and then we play the Astros at home also.
Yeah, a lot of interleague plays, Zach. And dude, I mean, I really think that Boston series, really, our pitching staff, Mitch Keller had a heck of an outing. And that's what I'm so excited about. I'm excited about a lot of things, obviously, but like just the fact that we actually seem to have some sort of like identity that's kind of gritty veteran team with also a lot of young talent. I just think we have the pieces more than we have had in recent years, man. And just real quick too, the atmosphere at the ballpark at the home opener was just awesome to see. Having AJ Burnett throw to Russell Martin, hopefully we can get back to that 2013 wild card atmosphere, Zach, because that was awesome.
Yeah, it was. There was like 13,039 people. It was a sellout regardless. It was like 39,000, I think, somewhere around there. But it'll be interesting to watch. Like I said, watch the Pirates this year, and hopefully we can win more games and not lose 100 like we did the past couple of years. All right, any final thoughts?
Not really, Zach. I apologize for my dog barking in the background. I don't know if we can pick that up, but
yes, we can.
Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, man, just obviously 50 episodes. That's awesome, man, and I just appreciate everybody watching and listening.
All right, thank you for listening to part 2 of the All Things Sports Podcast. My name is Zach Bischoff, and on behalf of that guy over there, we thank you for listening to episode 50, part 2 of the All Things Sports Podcast. We will see you next time. We will see you next time for the USFL preview show that will take place hopefully in the next couple of days here, as Danny and I are both leaving town to go to St. Louis, oddly enough. So we just got done talking about the Battlehawks overtime there, and we'll both be going to St. Louis this coming week here, so you will not hear from us most of the time next week. Until we speak again, bye for now.